You're in a narcissistically abusive relationship. You turn into an investigator. You start trying to piece together clues. You're looking for evidence. You're trying to determine which narrative in your mind is real. Is this someone who loves me and wants to be with me? Or is this someone who is hurting me knowingly? And so all throughout that dynamic, sometimes they do good things, but then they're doing all of these bad things. They're not validating your reality. They're gaslighting you. They're using all of these different tactics like Darvo to get you to question yourself and doubt yourself. And so you become an investigator. You're trying to put the puzzle pieces together. And through that process of trying to figure it out, there's something very insidious that happens as a result of being in that dynamic that causes you to lose trust in yourself and to lose trust in your ability to perceive reality accurately. There's not a specific, well-defined term for it. There's a combination of things that go into this particular dynamic. So let's say your narcissist had a pattern of doing a certain thing. Let's say that whenever they came home late, you found evidence of them being with someone else. And that was a pattern. That was a part of the dynamic. And so you would do your investigation work, and you would, maybe look at their phone, and you would see these text messages to this unknown number. And, maybe it was flirtatious text messages. And that would sort of confirm, okay, there's something going on that should not be going on. And so because of that pattern, you learn to anticipate that if they come home late, that means they were up to no good. And that's sort of the narrative in your mind. And that narrative supports the idea that this is someone who is hurting me. But when you're in that dynamic, as you know, you vacillate between those two narratives and those feelings of this person loves me, this person hates me. In all of your evidence and investigation work is going to try to resolve the dissonance and make a final decision as to whether this is someone who loves me or is this someone who's knowingly hurting me. So now, let's say you get to a point where the narcissist comes home late and your nervous system is dysregulated because you're worried about, okay, where were they? Okay, I tried to call you. You didn't answer your phone. What was going on? And you say, okay, let me see your phone. And you look on the phone expecting to find evidence of something that was going on with them texting someone with an unknown number to you, and you don't find it. You don't find it. It's not there. You sniff their shirt, and see if there's any perfume on the shirt or whatever. So, and you don't find it. And all of your searching for evidence comes up without anything. That critical point right there, it causes you to doubt your whole perception of the narcissist. Causes you to doubt the entire theory that you had about who they are and the whole case that you build about who they are. And it causes you to doubt your ability to perceive reality accurately, because in this one-off situation, you didn't find the evidence to corroborate your reality. And not only that, but the narcissist is adamant about there being something wrong with you. See, you're crazy. I wasn't doing what you said I was doing. You make all this stuff up in your mind. You're always making stuff up and they convince you that you're the problem and that every piece of evidence that you found in the past was a fabrication within your own mind. And when you're in that situation, you may even gaslight yourself. You may even start to wonder, man, did I make all that stuff up in the past? This is not who they are. And what you want to really understand when you have that type of experience where it just contradicts everything and you feel crazy, what you want to understand is that one situation where the evidence didn't support them being who you know they are is not evidence that they're not that person. The only thing that it's showing you is that either they've gotten better at hiding it or it didn't happen that time, that one specific time. And just because you are not accurate in one situation doesn't mean that your ability to understand what's going on and to discern what's going on is flawed. It doesn't mean that. But when you're in that dynamic, it's hard for you to see that your perception being off in one instance doesn't mean that it's always off in every situation. Here's the deal. You're going to have situations in that dynamic where the narcissist is actually not doing the thing that they typically do. And it's those type of situations that confuse you and that make you doubt yourself and question yourself. But it's not evidence of them having a good character or good motives. You have to understand all of the things that they've done throughout the relationship where you did see that they were doing something to hurt you. They did have those bad motives. And you also want to be able to have grace with yourself and compassion with yourself when you're wrong and when it didn't add up the way you thought it would. Because otherwise you get stuck in this dynamic of black and white thinking. Well, either they're always doing something wrong and they're a bad person, or my perception is off. And that's a false dichotomy that you don't want to get trapped in, because it keeps you trapped in this self-doubt. A better way of looking at it is, okay, I see all of the stuff that they've done wrong, and in this particular situation, there's no evidence showing that they did anything wrong, even though I believed based on the past that they did something wrong in this situation, but there's no evidence to support that. That does not mean that my perception is off. It just means in this specific situation, this wasn't the case. And if you can learn how to do that, how to have that compassion with yourself when you make a mistake, or when you have the evidence doesn't support what you perceive, that's going to be really important. Now, that perception that you had in that anticipation of something being wrong, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you're wrong for doing that. The reason you do that is because, number one, you've got a dysregulated nervous system. Number two is because you've seen their character in the past, and the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. Your anticipation of them doing something wrong and then discovering no evidence to support it is then weaponized against you by the narcissist to get you to distrust your ability to discern reality. It's a part of a very insidious abuse cycle